We are live. We are live, live, live. We are live. Live, 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 live. Hello, everyone. Good evening, wherever you're watching me from. It could be good morning for you, good afternoon, or definitely good evening. It is definitely evening here where I live. I just want to say hello to people on Instagram. Hello to those watching us on YouTube. Welcome once again to Diamond Lady TV. And this is the Diamond Lady Show. And I am, as usual, Diamond Lady in the house. I can't believe I've brought this here as well. So as you may already know from our poster, today's topic is all about the mindset and how the future of Africa and the Black Diaspora depends on it. I hope you are ready for this. And before I introduce our guest for tonight, I would like, and then I would request from everyone who is watching us tonight is to please try your best and then share this conversation either on Facebook or share the poster with other people so that they can all listen to it as well. I am going to do that right away from my phone so that other people on other groups and other pages can also watch it as well. And we are looking forward to all your contributions and all that you've got to add to today's topic because sorry about this. I will get a bit of feed from here. Sorry. I'm trying to share this to other groups and pages. So please, if you can also do that so that we can get all other people listening to it as well. Give me a second because we are going to introduce this whole topic all over again. And hopefully there'll be lots of people listening to it and then contributing immensely to today's topic as well. I'm going to introduce myself again. I am Diamond Lady and welcome to Diamond Lady TV. And this is the Diamond Lady Show, the place you have to be on a Saturday evenings and Sunday. Very soon we'll be adding Friday evenings as we used to do in the past, a few Fridays here and there. To start with this topic, I would first like to say thank you to all those who are supporting and sponsoring us today. We've got St. Maya Dry Line Limited, and we've got Sister Eat Fit Lose. If you're looking to go on a healthy lifestyle, you need to join them on Facebook, follow them on Instagram. We've got Sister United Foundation. Then we've also got Sister United Foods, where you can buy your puff puff mix from. And those who have won their present or their puff puff from Sister United Foods, we are waiting for their feedback to give to us all. This is the place you've got to be. We also want to say thank you to Mama Z European Shop. And tonight's topic is all about mindset and how the future of Africa and the Black Diaspora depends on it. So tonight, our guest, I am just going to give you just a little bit information about our guest. And when I bring him in, I'll give him the chance to introduce himself to you all. So he is in the name of Mr. Ricky Boateng, and he is the CEO of an Accra-based content creation company called Mastermind Concepts. He describes it as our first Afropolitan lifestyle experience. Hey, if you've not heard about Kisasa, he will be telling us about it. You need to definitely join this. And I know very soon in April or so, they are launching their virtual boot camp. I am excited to hear about that as well. Then he is also an award winner and he's gained recognition in the dance industry, and he has actually introduced Kisalsa in Ghana. So I'm going to bring him on. We'll get to know more about our guest today. Just let's welcome our guest, Ricky. Hi, Ricky. Good evening, and welcome to the Diamond Lady Show tonight.
Hello, B. Good to be here.
Good to have you. Good to have you, and I'm so pleased you were able to make it. And I am just going to give you that chance, that window, to tell us a little bit about Ricky and then all the businesses, if not all. Maybe you can give us a gist about what you do.
Okay, that'll be a lot, but I'll just try and keep it simple.
Okay.
Ricky, for those who know me, you know me going by the appellation Godfather.
Yeah.
I use that from time with close friends of mine. Basically, my background, as you already know, started with media.
Yes.
And then I got into the financial industry for about half a decade plus. And I'm actually still there in a certain capacity. But from about 2014, I started my entrepreneurial journey, and it's been really interesting. I'm currently dabbling in agriculture, real estate, and as you said, I am still very...
I think we're getting a little bit of technical glitches as well today. Oh, I am hoping for the best. Can you hear us there? Hello, Ricky. Yes. I think you've muted yourself on that one. If you could unmute yourself, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, but there's feedback.
Right, I'm going to bring the other one on. All right, so let's try again. I think, yeah, that should work now. I have brought the other one on, yes.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so where did you lose me at?
Where you were talking about your most current businesses, yeah?
Okay, so the Mastermind Incorporated group of businesses currently involves foray into what some might describe as financial engineering. Basically, what we do is we deal with bringing in or attracting foreign direct investment into countries within Africa, as well as project financing. Then we have some focus into real estate, into agriculture, and of course, my heart is still very much with media and entertainment, as you well know. Yep. And so I have a company that is dedicated to content production called Mastermind Concepts. And in a nutshell, like I said, we're here in Accra, you know, in our neck of the woods, trying to make an impact globally by God's grace.
Oh, that is nice. I am so excited. I didn't know you've got this vast business range going for you. Oh my God. I need to really connect well and then get associated and get involved in it. Okay, as we both already know, we've set ourselves a very big challenge for today, and it's quite a very broad topic, which is all about the mindset and how the future of Africa and Black diaspora depends on it. I know it's a very broad topic, and we are going to try our best and hit on it here and there. But I think I'm going to leave most of the hard work for you to be doing, you know. I don't even know why. I don't know why everybody looks to Africa, honestly. It is just something else. Everybody looks to Africa for our resources and all that. And I have done a bit of research, and what I found was, according to the slaverysite.com, they said African diaspora people makes over 73% of population, with the largest number in Haiti, which is about 10 million, and in Jamaica, about 3 million in the World Atlas in 2018. So there's a whole lot to talk about today, honestly. And I'm someone who likes to listen to this gentleman called the PLO Lumumba. I don't know if you've heard about him. Every now and then I pop in to listen to him on YouTube, and I've been listening to him recently. And there was this interview which was about the development of Africa or something. And there he was recommending a book by Martin Meredith, which is The Fortune of Africa. I don't know if you've listened to that already. And I somehow agree with the thing he was saying. Just from the initial beginning, he was saying that Africa has always been the repository of the resources that the world needs. That is why it has a sharp attraction for everybody. I agree to that. I honestly agree to that. You might have your own opinion. I am going to try not to make this discussion political. Honestly, I am going to try my best. I am not too good with politics and all that. I am going to. You do as well. Okay. So I think we want to start from this point. Let's just explain to the layman, or in the layman's view. Let's say I don't know anything about Black diaspora or the diaspora. What is it about? What is Black diaspora?
Okay. Just before I tackle your particular question, yes. I don't want to let your very interesting point that you just made pass by.
Yes.
It's very critical. It just so happens, for instance, that the motto that I have for my group of companies, all right, yes, is Ex Africa Semper Aliquid Novi.
Okay.
Ex Africa Semper Aliquid Novi. It's a Latin statement that apparently was said and written down on behalf of a certain Roman politician way back, in the ages, called Pliny Elder. Now it is attributed to him. Okay. Now what it means is that there is always something new coming out of Africa.
Definitely.
And this was recorded, very important statement. So you realize that the entire world, and especially the West, has a history of getting inspiration from Africa. They know that every single time you step on African soil, you look towards Africa, inspiration hits you.
Yes.
That is why we have always been in their crosshairs. We've always been a target that they've been focusing on, because they know we are resourceful and there's a lot of inspiration that comes from us. But that was just a point I wanted to draw.
Well, it's a point well taken.
Let's go into the Black diaspora. Now, it's always important that we specify that we are talking about the Black diaspora, because there are basically other diasporas. We have the Jewish diaspora. I know there are certain aspects of the Asian diaspora that exist as well.
Yes.
Black diaspora tends to represent the Black community or African community who, by virtue of several reasons, find themselves in other parts of the world. Now, chief most amongst them has been the slavery factor, but that's just one of them. There are other reasons why the Black diaspora is all over the world, but the slavery factor is a very important one that is to be considered, and that's the one we are focusing on in particular. We would also accept that in recent years, a lot of Africans have willingly emigrated to all parts of the world, particularly in search of greener pastures.
Yes.
Now, there are various figures that have been given to exactly how many of these people from Africa are residents now in Europe, in America, now Asia, some of them in the Middle East, and what have you. The figures are not exact, as you can expect.
Yes.
But these have also formed a very important block that are part of this diasporan, representation of African people who live outside of Africa. So this book, I believe, is to deal with all people of African origin, be they continent or as part of the Black Diaspora globally.
All right. Well, interesting. But because I looked at it and I thought African diaspora, but then there is diaspora in general. It's good you have explained further what this is all about, Africans per se, just to put Africans into that context. Okay. So what can Africans change? Or what can Africans do to change their mindsets in order to help develop Africa? I know I'm going just straight to the point. I am eager to know this,
Okay. Let me start with what I call certain assumptions.
Yes, okay.
Because there are people who are to us. And in order for them to even imbibe what it is that we are attempting to say, we must first establish certain assumptions which they must subscribe to and be in agreement of.
Yes.
Otherwise, we can't even begin to have that discussion.
Of course.
Now, a lot of my deliberation will be based upon the fact that I believe, and these are my personal convictions, that there is more to humanity and to life than meets the eye. So there is some of what I would refer to that some would consider, within the field of motivational speakers, some of them would argue that there are no quote-unquote scientific facts to support some of these assertions. But we all know that modern science does not answer everything.
Of course.
So there are certain assumptions, make based upon, like I said again, my personal beliefs. And I need people to understand that I am speaking from a personal point of view.
Yes.
Also, when I say things. Okay. So that being out of the way, I would say that first of all, when we talk about mindset, we are talking about an attitudinal position of people that is generally agreed upon. So the community, the family, the individual, the nation, the continent, how do they think as an agreed whole? Everyone holds that perception together. So generally, there's no conflict regarding that. That becomes the mindset of the people. And in understanding mindset, you need to understand that, first of all, how is it created?
Yes.
Before you even go to what is effect. So understanding the way we think, the way we hold certain truths and beliefs and attitudes, that becomes the mindset of people. How is that created? I would say from knowledge. The funny thing about that is when you think of knowledge being the crucible which creates the mindset of the people, we immediately begin to think in terms of academic learning or even maybe oral transfer of knowledge or wisdom. Not always. Sometimes knowledge is acquired through experience.
Yes.
Sometimes as a result of what people have gone through, they acquire certain knowledge, and as a result of that, that forms a mindset. Let me try and give a simple example to demonstrate that. When two cultures, for instance, clash due to historical experiences, let me just use a rough example. Let's say there are two tribes that have historical differences, okay?
Yes.
Based upon what some people experienced years ago. They are able to transfer that experience as knowledge to future generations so that future generations develop a kind of mindset towards each other, even though they might have not personally had any experience so far with the other tribe.
Of course.
This becomes an integrated mindset which advises their behavior sometimes for centuries. when we talk about mindset, that is what we are looking at. How do a group of people think collectively? What reinforces it? What makes it happen? And how does it affect them going forward?
Yeah.
That is the angle from which I'd like to approach this discussion for mindset.
Mm-hmm. Well. I think tonight it might be a very, very long night. I honestly believe it is, because we've got lots to talk about. I have a list of questions to talk about and all that. So you approaching it from that angle, what approach or what initiative should we take, which is the immediate action that can help reset, or what should I say, awaken that mindset in us as Africans, and then the Black diaspora incorporating in it and all that?
Fantastic question. I always believe in what I call the basics.
Okay.
Everything has its fundamental building blocks.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
Everything starts from its very basic source and then comes together into more complex formations.
Yeah.
Mindset is not, like I said, the source of mindset is knowledge or experience.
Yeah.
However, that knowledge or experience does not always have to be organic.
Yes.
It can be created. It can be specified, which is the reason why I'm not going to mention any specific names here for politically correct reasons.
Yes.
But we know that there are organizations, there are nations, sometimes that brainwash their people, their followers,
True.
integrate a particular kind of mindset to them through intense re-education, or if you like, miseducation. And this, after a while, becomes the accepted mind.
We're losing you. We just lost you, Ricky. We just lost you. If you can come back on the other one instead, please.
Okay.
Right. I've taken you back to the old one. Let's try there again. Yes. We lost what you were saying. Sorry.
No problem. This is part of what we have to deal with in Africa.
Yes.
Yeah. We don't. I am saying step one, I believe, is acceptance.
Yes.
Until you acknowledge the existence of a problem, there is very little hope for you to solve it.
Yeah.
We need to, first of all, understand what mindset is and how, till now, it has negatively influenced us, and how, going forward, it is an important role player in our future. Yeah. Until that acceptance happens and we acknowledge its importance, we can't start any process towards using it as the tool it should be to transform us. Why is this so important? In a lot of my deliberations and discussions with other people, I always point out this international truth. Just look around you. Let's consider the other races, our cousin races, okay? Because they're all one big family. So let's just consider the Asians. Let's consider the Europeans. Everybody knows that they are very far advanced when it comes to technology, when it comes to learning in general, advancement. I mean, the whole shebang. We know they are very, very far ahead of us at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you realize that as far ahead as they are not waiting? I mean, they could easily say, listen, we're pretty advanced, you know, we've gotten into a very comfortable lead. You know, let's chill a little bit and slow things down.
They're not quitting, that's true.
No, they're not.
Yes.
He's stepping on that narrator. They are picking up speed. They are moving faster. They can't wait to go as fast as they can. More knowledge, more advanced.
Yeah.
What is that? I always use this, rough explanation that they behave as though there is something pursuing them that they need to run from.
Yes.
And so it's like it's urgent. They need it done yesterday. Learning, they are breaking bounds, they are discovering things, new inventions, they are pushing the boundaries of science and technology, of knowledge in general, and they are not stopping. Why? Do they know something that we don't?
Probably.
Maybe there is. Maybe they have some insider knowledge that says you guys have gotten to this particular point in your evolution to be able to survive. And so they're not waiting, they are just moving.
Yes.
Contrast that with my brothers and sisters of the Black. Usually, we are so wound up in what we call our daily lives, in just trying to survive, in the rat race, that we have very little time or energy to even commit to deep thought. We're too busy trying to put food on the table.
Yes.
For those of us who have food on the table, we are too busy trying to look better than our neighbors. The energy and time commit to deep thought for development as a race, not much time for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens in bits and pockets, every now and then in some corners. But as a collective, it is not one of our values. And that is the starting point of mindset, your value system. What is your value system? Just very simply, what is important to you? If I ask you, what is important to you? What are those things that are constantly at the fore of your mind? I can tap into your value system because those will be the things that you are constantly thinking about. Those things that are important to you. I mean, we have the good aspects, love, being happy.
Yes.
For some, good health. For some it is success in whatever endeavors that they are doing. For some it is family. There are lots of values.
Yeah.
Every group of people needs to have a consciously chosen set of values that they as a people collectively adhere to if it's important for development. Our traditional ancestors, they knew this, and they left us lots of clues. If you go into our tradition, for instance, I am a can, all these signs that come from our traditional music, from our traditional art, they were references to what should be important to us, what we should focus on. You've seen all the beautiful Adinkra symbols, for instance, unique across the world. When they give you Jinyame, when they give you Insa, when they give you Fiankra, when they give you Denche, they are trying to tell you something. That these are the important things that you should focus on, because they are the things that inform your mindset and then become the description of your people. Let's ask ourselves an interesting question. I love my brothers and sisters, the Germans. When you consider Germany around the world, immediately everyone will give you a certain description about the Germans.
Of course.
They're efficient, they're hardworking, they are reliable. Those are their values, their value system. It's very easy to identify. The Japanese are respectful, they respect hierarchy, they are hardworking, they're innovative. That is their value system. The Israelis, they are groundbreaking, they are courageous, they are resilient, they are hardworking, they are success focused. That is their value system. What is Africa's value system?
I was just about asking you.
This question we need to ask ourselves.
If
we are unable to very quickly pinpoint those good values, because by the way, a value system can be bad or good.
Yes.
The good values that we decide to adopt as a collective people, because we believe that that will take us to the place that we want to get to. If it is not easily identifiable, then there's a problem. In Ghana, I remember there was a time when we became famous for being called, there was, I think, hospitable.
Yeah.
Or we had a more interesting word of sorts than that. But generally, the idea is that Ghanaian hospitality.
We are the most friendliest. You know, it's like they were saying the most friendliest and the most entertaining.
Well, that's not bad.
Yes.
But is that enough?
Whilst people are getting the hard workers, that is what we were getting. Well, I guess it's a good thing. It's better than the bad thing.
Yes, it is. What I would say, V, is values are like the seeds of the future that you want to harvest, which is the fruit.
Yes.
And I always say this, I say this a lot. Anyone who's ever listened to me will probably have heard me say it a couple of times. I believe that if your goal is to harvest tomatoes,
yes,
any seed that you plant other than tomato seeds is a waste of time.
Of course.
You cannot plant pepper seeds and then harvest
tomatoes. Yeah.
That doesn't make pepper seeds wrong. It doesn't make them bad. But if your goal is tomatoes, you need to plant tomato seeds. That's the basics. Values are the input. The future is the output. So you need to start it right. There are certain combinations of values that have certain outputs in the future. If you know that is the kind of future that you desire, you need to be able to put or ingrain the first right seeds into the people mentally. Let that become their mindset. Once that mindset is established, then you know that you're on the right path to achieving what it is that you want to achieve. So for me, number one, Africans need to accept that our current mindset needs work. Our current value system is either non-existent or obsolete. At the very best, it needs an upgrade. If collectively we can understand that, and if collectively, you see, we don't just relegate it to the realm of, oh, this is motivational speaker talk, this is preacher talk. If we do understand, this is actually the foundation. This is the seed. There is no going around it. Listen, if, as one of my favorite motivational teachers and life coaches likes to say, he said that you need to begin with the end in mind. John C. Maxwell.
Okay, yeah.
If you're not absolutely sure of where it is that you want to go, how are you going to even start in the first place? We need, as a people, to understand that this is what we're aspiring to. This is where we want to get to. Kwame Nkrumah was brilliant when it comes to that aspect. He was a visionary. He could see the end. Yes, he had a bit of issues bringing the people he needed on board, and he underestimated the struggle that he was going to have in terms of Africans supporting Africans. But that is another discussion for another day.
Yeah.
As a people, we need to understand that in order to get where we want to be, and we all have an idea of where we want to be,
of course,
we need to start from the grassroots, from the seeds. If you don't start from the seeds, it's a waste of time, my dear. Wishful thinking is not enough. We've all lived abroad. We've all experienced the economies and lifestyles of the West and the East and everywhere else.
Yeah.
The more exposed you are in these economies and societies, you quickly discover that we're no different. There's very little difference between us.
Yeah.
In fact, I dare say that most of the people who come from a very disorganized type of lifestyle, when we have a structured system built around us, we flourish. We do very, very well. And there are so many examples of blacks in the diaspora who are killing it across the globe. So the problem isn't the people. The problem is a lack of systems. And why is there a lack of systems? because we don't have the mindset that tells us that systems are important.
Yeah.
That you need to build a foundation, that you need to start from the seeds. So we hit the road running without a plan. And we keep running. And we become mice on the Ferris wheel. Running, but we're not really going anywhere. So you see Black people struggling, working hard as hell across the globe, putting in blood, sweat, tears, everything, every bit of us.
Yes.
But we seem not to be going anywhere because we jumped the first edge. There was no collective plan. The right seeds were not planted. Just to end, I like to give allegories a lot. Humankind, it is said, has evolved from the stage of being hunter-gatherers. It is now that we have developed into a more sophisticated, kind of individual and what have you. But at the very base of our being, we still behave like hunter-gatherers.
Yeah.
We go, we take what is available, we hunt in order to survive. All human beings are like that. So I like to give examples that refer to our hunter-gatherer instinct as, comparisons, because they work very well. Basically, we're all farmers.
Yes.
All of us. In everything that we do, we are still farming in order to survive. You go out, you work hard, and you expect a harvest, right?
Yes.
Your harvest will be dependent upon the seeds that you have sown previous grades, but it's not everything.
Yeah.
Smart work is important, but it is also not everything. Purpose is everything. Why do I say that? Like I gave the first example. If you had a farm and you go to the farm, huge acres of land, you clear the bush, you clear the stones, you till the soil to work, right?
Yep.
So guess what? Just imagine if you get to the point where you've done all the work, but you didn't plant your seed. Cost 90.
Yes. It will start growing again.
So hard work in itself is not everything. There has to be a plan.
Yes.
If you're working hard, you're clearing the land, you're tilling it, you're clearing the bushes, you're removing the stones, you're irrigating the land, but you have no idea what seed you're going to sow into the soil, you will harvest absolutely nothing. That is what is happening in Africa right now. We do not have a plan.
We've lost you again. Can you hear me?
No.
We did lose you, Ricky.
Is it back?
Yeah, you were back on the other one.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so you know how it is. You have to, that's what I was just talking about. You have to plan.
Yes,
You have to
yes.
have a
And
backup.
I'm so glad we've got this backup system in place where if we lose you on one, we can pick the other one.
That's exactly. I think it's actually happening to buttress the point that I'm trying to make.
Yes.
That this is what Africa all. Because otherwise, imagine this: one link goes off, everything comes to a standstill. It's not your fault.
Yes.
It's not my fault. Then the harvest will not come. Then hard work will go.
Yes.
Now, as far as I'm concerned, what I think is that as a collective people, we need to be able to have a collective value system and say, these are the things that are important to us. Okay.
Yes.
These are the things that we agree upon. In fact, in South Africa, they already have a system like that in place. that developed their concept that they call Ubuntu. You might have heard of it.
I've heard of Ubuntu, yeah.
Now, it's a powerful... I think I'm back.
Yes. Let's get you back there. Yes, I've got you back there. We've switched to the old one.
Okay. All right. I was talking about Ubuntu.
Yes.
I am saying the South African concept of Ubuntu basically is the sister concept or sister traditional concept of the Akan concept of Denjambunifu.
Okay.
You remember Denjambunifu?
Yes, those head, about 4 heads of crocodiles with 1 stomach.
Thank you. The two crocodiles or Siamese crocodiles.
Yes. Siamese crocodiles, yes.
Concept of Ubuntu simply says that, listen, if you are well, I am also well. The Romans also had a similar concept. They called it si vale values.
Okay.
Si vale values says the same thing. It says that if you are well, I am well. Those fundamental concepts, when they are integrated into society, see, that's the point where we stop thinking in terms of a better path for neighbor. It becomes more of, if I bite my neighbor, I have bitten myself.
You've bitten myself.
There's another Edinkra symbol that says Obin Kobi.
Obin Kobi, yes.
And they were trying to pass on that wisdom to us, as these are the things you must hold clear and dear to your heart and pass on to the future generations. And they would advise your mindset. Why is that so important? Why do I keep coming back to mindset? Because, sweetheart, your mindset is what will manifest into your life.
Yes.
As an individual, as a community, as a nation, and eventually both as a continent and as a race.
Yes.
Those things that we integrate into our minds, that we hold dear in our hearts, that form the basis of our belief system and value system.
Yes.
Those are the things that will manifest in our lives. It is obvious. The examples are everywhere in the world. Look at the people, look at their value system, look at their mindset. It is obvious in their way of life. Whether good or bad, you will see it manifest.
Yes.
Way of life.
Yes.
That's what it means at this point. So I know it's been a very long answer to the first question.
I know. But
I am all basics. Let's get the basics right. Let's understand that we need this. Let the conversation be about, listen, what is important to you? Those things that are important to you, are they going to create the kind of future that you want? That we want? You've heard the term, the Africa we want.
Yes.
It's become popular these days.
Of
The
course.
African Union touting it. Professor Pielo Lubumba has been touting it. Dr. Arikana, love her so much, has been touting it a lot. To get that we want, we need to get the value system right. We need to get the mindset right. That is the foundation. The seeds that will produce the kind of fruit that we want. Here, I'll pause, let you come in.
Oh, yes. You have spoken a lot, and you are really enlightening some of us. I for one, I have picked a lot out of it. So just as I understand it, the main root of all this will be the mindset, and this mindset has to carry on. It's like from generation to generation. It has to be passed on. There shouldn't be any breakage at any point in time. Well, before I go ahead with my next question, let me just read a few comments from here. So we've got Kojo Safo saying Ricky say wetinkra. And then he is also saying, I have a question for my coursemate. I hope you bring your question soon, Kojo. He is here. He's going to answer the question. Then Collins Kwesi Fojo says, fantastic sunshine. He also says, MMINC. Well, it looks like you're doing a great job. And so my next next question is, let's say if the government or if these people and all that, they've been able to install this mindset, or is able to start installing this mindset in us, okay? And then what is it that the Black Diaspora can help in the development and in the building of Africa? What is it that they can do to help in the development of Africa?
Okay. I will not let the first part of your question run away because it's very important. You were saying, based on the assumption that, for instance, the government is able to help the people in Africa in general.
Yes, Africa.
Kind of mindset that we need. That's the first red flag. Part of the mindset that we need to develop is this dependency on governance. Mindset will not be set by the government. It will be set by you and I.
Of course.
It will be set by dialogue and direction. Let me give a great example. I am what they call borderline, what do they call it, Generation X. So I grew up in the 80s, in the advent of MTV. And so I saw its evolution to what it's become today. And I witnessed the impact that it had on an entire generation. MTV is not a government. From just about 20 years ago, we have experienced the massive technological revolutions that have resulted in platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Google, YouTube, Instagram, and lots of others that I don't even want to have to mention. Each of these, on their own, have caused a massive shift in our social structure globally. And none of them are governments.
Yes, that's true.
What am I trying to say?
Very true.
That was mindset. Today, there are other tools. Now, we promised we are not going to go political, so I'm not going to touch upon certain things.
Yes, we try.
That there are certain institutions, and these are not governments either, but these institutions have become so skillful at shifting public opinion that from the comfort of their desk, somewhere in some corner, somewhere in the world, they can use technology to determine how an entire country will think.
Yeah.
These are tools that are available today. So reliance on government is outdated, it's obsolete. There's a reason why they are there. We will ensure that they do their jobs the way they are supposed to be done. But the citizenry of the world, we have a responsibility. The citizenry of Africa and the Black Diaspora have a responsibility in doing what it is that we need to do to entrench that mindset both in ourselves and in the generation to come in order to move us to where it is that we want to go. Now let me address the question of the impact of the Black Diaspora.
Yes.
A lot of the time when we hear Black Diaspora, we look at the historical context in terms of where they came from, which is very important, and the suffering and trauma that they had to go through over centuries.
Yes.
But that tends to be the focus. Now, that is to make light of it, because the trauma that they experienced, I dare say, almost at the genetic level, has been passed on, over centuries, so much so that it is deeply ingrained in them.
Yes.
My issue, however, is that is not all that they are about. I always refer to the Bible as being a kind of life playbook. I mean, people like to see it as, this spiritual, library that is used for all spiritual things. Yes, it is that as well. But it is a life manual, a life playbook that every example within, applies directly to our lives and everything else about it. The story of the Israelis or the Israelites or the Jews, all right, in Egypt is a fantastic metaphor, so as allegory, to the Black diaspora and all that they had to go through. Sometimes, whether you call him the supreme being or the creator or Trediampong, however you refer to him, she plays things out in a way that causes certain things to happen.
Yes.
I believe that it was intended that the Black diaspora would be created. Now, unfortunately, they had to go through a very traumatic experience to get there.
Yes.
But I believe there's a reason. And I believe that in the future of Africa, they will play a very key role once they understand what that role is.
I've switched you to the other one.
All right, I'm back.
Yes, you are.
Okay. So I don't know. Did you?
That role is
get cut off before.
Yes, you got to the
Black diaspora.
Yes, you got to the point where you're talking about the role, their role. What's the importance of their role?
Okay. Now, what I think, again, I like to emphasize that this is my personal opinion, but
I've brought you back on the other one.
Okay, great, fantastic.
Yes.
I was just emphasizing that this is my personal opinion. I always like to emphasize that.
Yes.
But observation in many capacities. So I like to believe that I have good cause to think along those lines. I believe that the role of the Black diaspora will be critical in the determination of the future of Africa.
Yeah.
Think of them as the, if you like, Jews of Africa, who would eventually come back home, not just in physical context, but with the exposure, with the mental fortitude that they have received as a result of their experience, with their access to world global views, and other things. They bring it back home, and together with their siblings on the continent, will connect and put a new future for Africa.
Yeah.
And this is important, but unfortunately, you realize that currently we are on separate trajectories. Africa is on its trajectory. The Black diaspora seems to be on another trajectory. Sometimes you try to draw interconnections. I have a very, very dear sister who is of Trinidad and Tobago origin, who I worked with for a couple of years in Ghana. We used to discuss this a lot. There is a fundamental misunderstanding between our peoples.
Yeah.
That is one of the things that we dealt with at the mindset level. For some reason, Africans and people of Black origin always like to think of ourselves as different peoples. I am Ghanaian.
Yes.
You are Nigerian. Are Togolese. You are Black American. We are one people. Listen, when the rest of the world sees us, all they see are people of dark skin.
Yes.
That's all. Until we get to the point where we begin to think of ourselves, we are just one huge family. That's all that we are. Now, families have issues everywhere. Your family has issues. My family has it. But we remain family.
Yes.
Now, I love to give these examples when I talk about family. The Jews, the Italians, the Lebanese, the Indians, they have promoted the concept of family far beyond the normal to a point where it's one of their chief most values. The Italians call it La Familia.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't say it very well like a pure Italian. La Famiglia. Familia,
Yes.
You have to get that.
Yes, their hands has to come like that.
But that's what I'm saying. It's very important to them. Family is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so no matter what, even they have their internal family squabbles.
Mm-hmm.
Once they are up against an adversary or they need to do something together, family comes together.
Yeah.
And they get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Africa needs that. Black people need to learn that.
Yes.
The problem has been, what do we rally behind?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the causes to date that we have chosen as what we want to rally behind tend to be causes that divide us.
Yeah.
We have Christians maybe on one side bonding with Christians,
yeah.
on the other side Muslims bonding with Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
People that believe in one ideology bonding together, another group not so much. Then we are always on opposing sides. What about the things that actually bind us?
Mm-hmm.
What about those things that we appreciate? Things like respect for our elders, which is something the Japanese, Koreans, Chinese have perfected. What about the love and appreciation for family, which the Jews, the Lebanese, the Italians, and others have perfected? They're important to us too, but we haven't given them paramountcy in our society yet. That is why, even though we are friends and we love each other, we seem to get along each other, I don't trust you. You don't trust me either. So superficially, there's a lot of conversation going on. But deep down in the recesses of our hearts, we know that there's this deep distrust. Again, maybe it comes from experience. Maybe it comes from history. All right? Whenever I draw the what I call cycle flow from values and mindset to future output, what I always say is after the value system is established, and with that, the belief system, the first thing that begins to happen is that your thought pattern is adjusted to that value system. What is important to you, V, are the things you think about the most.
Yes.
Those things that you think about the most are the things you talk about the most. It's your narrative. Those things that you tend to talk about the most, you act on as well because you love imparting to people. You're a fun person. You have lots of energy. You love to try things new. You're not afraid. Those things are your value system. So because of that, you're acting on them. I've seen you do all things which a lot of people would never try in their entire lifetime. You're an artist, you're a photographer, you're a YouTube broadcaster, enthusiast. It's those things important to you.
Yeah.
They are constant mind. Because of that, you're always talking about them. Because of that, you're always acting on them. They say that those actions that we do repeatedly become our habits.
Yeah.
So not only do you act on them, but you act on them all the time. They have become a part of your personality. Yes. So when we think about V, we think about her in terms of those things that we know her for. That is your personality which has formed. And it is said that if you show me what your habits are, I can predict your future. This needs to be amped up to a continental and racial scale where Black people and people of African origin, these days when I say Black people, I'm always careful to counter with people of Black origin because it's not all Africans that are Black. We have white Africans as well.
Of course.
And we need to acknowledge them.
Yes.
People of African origin, or even in some cases, people of African association. Because, hey, some of you are in the UK right now, you're legitimate British. Likewise, if we get this branding right, we are going to have an inflow of Caucasians all over the world into Africa who say, listen, guys, we feel you, we feel what you do. We want to become Africans because we love what you represent. We love what you stand for. And they will be white. They'll be as white as ever. So people of Black origin or association need to understand that once we get our value systems right and collective, once we begin to have that discourse and say, you know what is important to us? What is it that we should consider our holy writ, our, base foundation that we will not compromise with and we can all agree on?
Yeah.
Once we get those items and we begin to reinforce them, we begin to talk about them. And Black Diaspora will play a key role in this because they have been inside systems that work. And they've seen how it has built those systems. The Parental Principle, I know I'm throwing a lot in here right now because I know we'll be running out of time soon, but let me play it on you.
Go ahead.
The Parental Principle said that just 20% of people will have enough impact on the entire community, equivalent to 80%.
Okay.
We call it the 80 principle. That most of the time, 20% of the people do 80% of the work.
Yeah.
So we know that we won't even need to change the mindsets of everybody. If we are able to work on the mindsets of just 20% of the people, the 80% impact that we're looking for would have been achieved. And I think the Black Diaspora will play a critical role. However, as I was alluding to earlier, they need to understand that currently we are on separate trajectories.
Yeah.
We don't think alike because our experiences are no longer close.
Yeah.
But if we are, that even though we are on different trajectories, we have a common goal. We'll find a way to intersect. And when we intersect, if we find that that is important to us, that unity of purpose is an important value of us, we'll intersect as a people and say, listen, the only way we're going to achieve what it is that we need to achieve as a people for the respect and for the kind of future that we want, for the Africa that we want, is to come together, to agree that these are the items that we have no doubt concerning, that we are all in agreement of, that the African can rub shoulders with anyone in the globe and even excel. Our love for each other should be paramount, that we should look out for each other, we should look out for our survival and preservation instead of constantly being in competition with each other. That things like mediocrity should be looked down, that we develop a culture of excellence in everything that we do because we are able, we have enough examples globally to show. These are things that we should agree upon as a people, instead of the little things that we are fighting on.
Yeah.
You might have heard of the law of attraction or the law of attraction.
Yes.
The law of attraction simply points out that those things that you focus on with a lot of emotion tend to manifest in your life.
Of course.
It is the same principle that is the foundation of what we call Neuro-Linguistic Programming, or NLP. A great advocate for that is Anthony Robbins, for instance, author of Awaken the Giants Within. They will tell you that if, you know how you've heard, they say that you can form a new habit in 21 days.
Yes.
It is an offshoot of Neuro-Linguistic.
Of course, yeah.
Basically, if you keep every day, I don't care what you consider your personal flaw is, if you keep telling yourself, for instance, that, let's say, I know you're creative. That I know about you. You're creative.
Yeah.
And one of the problems that creatives have are focus, attention, and things like procrastination, things like time dependability. It tends to be a problem amongst creatives. And when you throw in the issue of Black people as well, then you take it to another level. But if we should decide, as Black people, we are going to improve upon our unity of purpose and focus. That as Black people, time consciousness is going to be a value we are going to adopt. If as Black people, we take it upon ourselves that these are things that we want to integrate into ourselves and make a part of ourselves. According to experts of Neuro-Linguistic Programming, within 21 days, it is possible to form that into a new habit.
I hope it will be.
Can low enough to your genetic to pass on to future generations. The tools are there. Question is, you want it bad enough to do it?
Of course, of course. Oh my word.
Pause here so you can.
Wow, 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 wow. I didn't know you've got so much to tell us. You are educating us so well today. I am just going to read some of the comments from here. 1 hour is gone already, but I am thinking I want to add a little bit more. Please, let's just add just one question, hopefully. I'm going to read the comments from people here. So Mayfred Mimi says, mindset is everything. And she also says, the mindset is everything. And Collins says, homeland people of Ghana believe system at Ricky. And then Rico Boateng for president. There's someone voting for you already. And then Mary Fred again says, Mayfred, I said. Mayfred says Ricky Boateng for president. Then Joe Man says, thank you. And Meg Kumi says, awesome. You know, I know I said this topic is very, very broad, and honestly, we've not even gotten to even a quarter of my questions for you. Honestly, we haven't. But let me just add this last question. I want to know, actually. So I will refer to our own president. I said we're not going to be political because I am not into politics. I don't know much about politics. But I know that our dear president of Ghana, who is in the name of Nana Akufo-Addo, President Nana Akufo-Addo, in 2019, if I can remember, introduced the Return to Ghana. Is it Return to Ghana or something? By the diaspora. There was a return, the year of return. The year of return. Okay. So it's been 2019, it's been 2020, and now we are in 2021. I think the last time I was in Ghana was in 2019, and then just at the end of 2019. Yes, I did see a lot of changes. You are the one who lives in Ghana. With this initiative that he introduced and then decided to bring the diaspora, maybe I'll just say the Black diaspora, into the scene. How has things happened for Ghana? So it could have been the whole of Africa, but then this is like a trial something, and all Africa or the whole of Africa, every eye was on Ghana to see how things are going to go. When the Black diaspora returned, the year of return in 2019, up till now, has anything been achieved at all in Ghana? I think it's paused again.
It's okay. Any luck now?
Yes, I can hear you. I haven't switched yet.
All right. So do we switch or okay? It looks like it's back.
Yes, it is back.
Okay. So I was saying, fortunately, I was able to get some insight into the year of return and its impact, because I have some very good friends who are knee-deep in regard to that particular initiative. I follow a lot of the work that people like Ivy Prosper, for instance, do with the Ghana Tourism Board and the Ministry of Tourism itself. And so I have quite a bit of insight into how that is going behind the scenes. I would say, I think it was a fantastic initiative, very, very, very well placed, because the timing couldn't have been better. And it has opened another chapter of the relations between the Black diaspora and Africa, using Ghana in particular as the gateway.
Yes.
What I would say, and I've said other people before, including my own very good friend who is based in Trinidad and Tobago, Sarah Jane Mungo, that We, however, need to be able to bring more of the locals, into play. Because as much as the year of return has had to do with giving the Black Diaspora in particular a channel through which to come home into Africa and cast it, it's not enough.
Yeah.
For them to be able to build their roots here. And I'm speaking as a person who in the West and then basically moved into Ghana. And I understand how traditions back. You were brought up in the West and you come to Africa for the first time. As much as you would love with this, it's a totally different experience. On average, and I've said this to a lot of people, it will take 5 years for an initial acclimatization. That can only be done if the lowest concept so that they become the people who would receive our brothers and sisters and help them with their integration. The proper systems must be in place to allow for that. Now, the reason why this is critical is because I have heard a lot of sad stories of our brothers and sisters who came to Ghana and other parts of Africa with the intention of coming everything. And of course, they come with heart open and expectant for the first time and in their lives. They are walking, in a no one looks different simply because the color of their skin. And I understand the euphoria that they experience as a result. But there have been certain badness in our local population. The badness that have taken advantage of this, if you like, naivety of extracts who are not related to Africa in any way. And they prey on these people and sometimes take advantage of them. Now, if you're not careful, if I come into Ghana or Africa for the first time as a person of African origin who's literally 2-3 generations of living abroad, and my first experience is with someone who's trying to take advantage of me, sometimes the paradigm shift that I experience as a result has me lose that emotional connection. Like, these cannot be my people. They didn't treat me like my people. That's where people begin to look for historical references. There are historical references where people allude to the fact that the slave trade was partly perpetuated by Africans themselves, because they were the ones who would sell their brothers and sisters, sometimes who were captives in war, to the Lebanese or Arab, traders, and then eventually end up with the Europeans, and then they will be shipped away. I'm not disputing that fact, which is a fact which is everywhere in the world where there's been slavery and slave trade. But the truth of the matter is that if we cannot get the local populace who have good intentions, who are able to help their brothers and sisters integrate properly, if we are able to bring them on board this platform so that we are part of the process, these people who prey on them will take them for easy, bait. And once they have that bad experience, they begin to develop an emotional, and then they allude that maybe Africa is not all that I thought it would be. Then it becomes more difficult to break through with them. Not because that's how not because that's how Africans are, but because that was their first experience. And first impression is really deep.
Of course.
So I think, and like I said, I have mentioned this several times, but I myself have, that in time to come, we will probably open up a liaison office with Mastermind that would allow some of these people who want to come into the country and integrate to meet the right kind of people. Because it's important.
That would be a good idea.
The fact that he's your African brother, the fact that she's your African sister, doesn't necessarily mean that they are.
Right, I've brought you in on the other one. Looks like we're losing our brother Ricky a little bit. A bit of technical glitches. Yes. Right, I've got you here. Can you hear us, Ricky? The other side is gone off, so I've got you on the backup, but it doesn't seem to be working as well. Well, let me just use this opportunity to say thank you to all our listeners. Oh, there you are. Yes, please. We lost you along the way.
Yeah.
So you were talking about the fact that you were going to create something that would help these people who want to come in and all that. I'm getting you back on the other one. I've got you back on the other one, please.
I was saying Mastermind is in the process of setting up a liaison office.
Mm-hmm.
Come in, we can act as a kind of, if you like, balance,
yes,
just to ensure that they are protected, they are meeting the right kind of people, so that they are not easy bait for just anybody.
Yes.
That's very important. I have a lot of friends who are of Black origin, from the Caribbean, some of them from the United States, and I'm very aware of this problem. We have a lot of wonderful people, very good people over here who are very excited to be able to collaborate with our brothers and sisters from across the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes, yes.
And we are very, very ready to collaborate with them at necessary.
Yes.
You know? And like I said, part of what we intend to do, I'm hopeful that in the coming months we'll be able to roll that out and make it available as a service to all our brothers and sisters out there.
Oh, that is a good idea. You know, I am sure lots of our Black diaspora would like to come and invest in Africa. Obviously, the development of Africa has to begin from somewhere. And then with the contribution from this Black diaspora, and then having like joint ventures and investment and development, and then helping to educate our people more and opening more avenues for more jobs and all that, I am sure is definitely going to help in the development of Africa. And just as they always say, Africa will be great again. That is the Africa I am looking forward to. And definitely it all has to start from the mindset, which is the ground root. And as you said, Ricky, we need to go back to the basics, and the basis is the mindset. We definitely need to start from the mindset. I think I definitely need to bring you back for this topic because, as I said, I've not even asked a quarter of my questions. You know, these questions demand a lot of answers and a lot of explanation. Yes, I can really, really relate to that. At the moment, I have ordered myself a book, and this book, I will also recommend it for people as well. So the title is Dead Aid. That is by Dambise. Is it? Yes, Dambise Moyo. So it reveals why millions are actually poorer because of aid, and unable to escape corruption and reduce in West eyes. There's a whole lot about this book, you know, a whole lot of noise is being made about this book. I am not really into politics and all that, but then it's good just to widen our brains, our mind, and to help with our mindset. We need to listen to certain things, we need to read certain things, and I think the mindset starts from there. And just as Ricky said, it is not the government who has to come and implant the mindset in us. We as the people have to develop that mindset to help build our own continent. We don't have to wait for the Chinese and all other people to come and take over our country in the mindset of wanting to help our country and all that. Yes, if they are coming, we should set our own terms for these people. We should set our terms and conditions for China, for whichever country that even decides to invite us to say, oh, come, let's have a round table talk. Oh, Africa, we know you've got this, you've got cocoa, you've got gold. We want to come into your country and all that. We have to be ready to set that platform, to set that terms and conditions for these people. And we say to them, you do it our way or you bugger off, We need to stand on our feet now. Africans need to start with us. Our mindset needs to start. We've got a bit of education, so that definitely has to help us to develop. And then we can develop Africa, and then we'll get it ready, well packaged, sparkling, and all that. And we're going to go into the import and export and all that. Hopefully, Africa is definitely going to be great again. This is the question to you, Ricky. Are you willing and ready to come back for us to continue all this discussion? Because it is really bringing up a lot in me, honestly. And I can't wait to have you back here so that we can continue with all my questions, because I don't want my questions to just sit down in my book and sit in there. I want us to inform the people. I want people to also gain a bit of knowledge and add to what they already have. So, Ricky, please, are you going to definitely come back soon?
It would be my pleasure, V.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me just read these comments on here. So Innocentia is just giving us a lot of thumbs up or maybe medals. Then we've got Roxia. Is that same person or someone else saying, Then the same person is saying, our very expensive Ghana internet. I'll put that comment on so you can see. It says our very expensive Ghana internet is doing what it does best. Never stable connection. Obviously, there's not a stable connection. Whenever I've got people talking to us from Ghana, we always don't have the stable connection. Then we've got Katharina saying, great talk, very insightful. Thank you all who are listening to us tonight. Unfortunately, we've gone over our time. Usually we are here for an hour, and today we are almost here for 1.5 hours. There's just so many questions, honestly, that I have got to ask, and I'm definitely going to plan another day with Ricky, and we're going to bring him back. And that day, he's definitely going to educate us more about the Afro dance and all that he has developed in Ghana, which is about the Kizalsa. You need to be here to hear about that, because I think he's going to start with a boot camp, which I am definitely ready to join in. I think it's going to be virtual and people can join in virtually, and you can enjoy the dance and join in the celebrations and all that. I am definitely looking forward to that. When I read about that, I was over the moon. I was like, I can't wait. I love it. I can't wait. It will be so, so interesting. I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much again, Ricky. I would like to say thank you to all our supporting sponsors as well. And if you would want to go and follow Ricky, I am going to get his information running on the banner below. He is on Instagram, so you can find him under the name Afropolitan_Godfather. Please go and follow him. Go and see the kind of things he is doing there. You'll get a rough idea of the things he is doing on Instagram. You could also follow him on Facebook. Is that okay if they follow you on Facebook? Okay, yes, so you can find him on Facebook as well. So Godfather, you can find him, go and find him and follow him. So thank you to all our lovely supporting sponsors in the name of Saint Maya Dryline Limited, NK Pizzles, Mama Z European Shop, Sister Eat Fit Lose, Sister United Foundation, Sister United Foods. And if you're looking for puff or buffets to buy in UK, you can find Sister United on Instagram. No, not on Instagram, but rather on eBay or Etsy. You can buy your buffets from them. If you're in Ghana, you want to buy buffets as well, the mix, you can buy it from Family Affair GH. Find them on Facebook and Instagram, and you would just enjoy the puff mix. Thank you again, Ricky. There is about 3 more comments. Oh my God, it looks like we're not going anywhere today. So we've got Betty Anno who says, yeah, Ricky should definitely come back. So it's not just me. They want you to come back, Ricky. And then Colin says, a comeback would have been essential. So they want you to come back, Ricky, please. Mayfred says, right on point. So they want you to come back, Ricky. Thank you so much. It looks like I'm losing my voice already. Have a good evening. Thank you to all our wonderful listeners. Please, when this is done, you can still share with other people to listen to this. You can still leave your comments, and then we will pick it up. Next time when we come, we will pick up your questions and all that, and then we will elaborate on them. Thank you. And don't forget, Saturdays and Sundays, this is the place you have to be. Diamond Lady TV on the Diamond Lady Show to listen to nothing but the best. Let's get educated. Take care and have a good evening. Bye. Right, bye again. Ricky, please